Hello and welcome to another edition of Kickstarter Last Rides, brought to us by Indie Advocates. I am Mr. Anderson, the advocating voice of Indie Advocates. This week we have in issues 19, Penny for Your Frontera in the Luminous Age. What does all that mean? We're going to find out in just a few minutes. We're going to go down the list of what we're covering today in our Kickstarter section, which you can always find here in Kickstarter Last Rides. And we're going to load that. And this is all the Kickstarters that are about to end, so you know. Obviously, we're filming the program right now. We have 7 reasons to back Section M. We're going to talk about those in a minute. Remember, supporting Kickstarter only takes a single dollar. $1 show support attracts attention, helps funds project, creates new worlds, and more importantly, supports creators. And if you are trying to make a Kickstarter and you want it to be kick-ass, one of the greatest things you can do is look at other people in indie comics to learn from them. One of the best people to learn from about Kickstarters is Madeline Holly Rising, who actually went out and wrote a book about it, and it's on Amazon now. It's called Kickstarter for the Independent Creator, 2nd edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding. Now, today on the program, we're going to have Penny for Your Soul, Frontera, and Luminous Age. Now, we have some special stuff. We are going to be talking about Section M. We just didn't have a video for them. We're going to start right now by going to Section M, which we'll look at them on their Kickstarter real quick. Now, they have 5 days to go. They kind of made the cusp, but like I said, there was actually no video to put it into the package, so it's not featured like we normally do. That's why we're going to read the 7 reasons right now to you, because this isn't a lot to go by. So I wanted to do something a little special, so we're going to talk about the 7 reasons to back it, because I think this will give you guys a better idea of what it's about. So let's do this. Section M, the Graphite Edition, a sneak peek of the upcoming 1st issue of Section M comics starring the 1960s monster hero shot from artist Ron Joseph's pencil. Okay, why do you feel you need Kickstarter to launch your project, and will your goal, if reached, cover all the creative costs? In this case, it's really to get the project off the ground. It's a situation where we have interest from Diamond distributors, publisher, and when it's officially picked up, we would be getting an advance, which is cool. But before that happens, they need to see a completed 1st issue. Our penciler, Ron Joseph, has been doing stuff at IDW and gets quite a few offers for paying gigs. So if the book is going to be coming at the front of the line, I've got to make sure he gets page rate and not have to wait for the advance, which makes sense. It also gives him the goal, covers his page rate, the printing, and rewards and the estimated shipping. Okay. How did the creative come together behind the Kickstarter come together? I've known Ron for many years now. At one point, he was a penciler on the Miss Vicky and Her Cute Commandos, my previous Kickstarter. But while we were waiting on a publisher to decide if they were going to pick it up and pick up the book, he started working for IDW and ate up the bulk of his time at the drawing board. During a break between assignments, he was able to do some sketches for Section M, as well as cover for my Celebration comics titled The 1966 Frankenstein and Dracula Characters. I think it appealed to him because it was a chance to play in the superhero sandbox, but not wind up doing the same old Spider-Man, Batman, Wolverine pages everyone does for the portfolios to show editors. What do you believe separates your Kickstarter from the thousands else out there? That's a tricky one. I think Kickstarter has seen every comic genre variation known to man at this point. From what I've seen, a straight up spandex superhero can be a tough sell without a major name attached. I believe what we bring to the table is a distinctive package spotlighting the creative process by shooting straight from Ron pencils, digging a little deeper into the actual story of the characters. They were all oddballs of the 1960s, characters that have been featured in books about the worst comics ever made. One that came to life not from inspiration, but from the mercenary desire to cash in on the Batman TV craze. Even under these circumstances, there's something about them, a germ of quality within the concepts that can inspire some fun old school stories. It's such a culmination project as it is superhero team book. A chance to prove there's no such thing as bad comic book characters. Is this Kickstarter the start of something big, or is this a one-shot? The campaign is an all-pencils edition, but there are so many stories in the pipeline for the fully inked and colored stories. I hesitate to refer to it as a taste, but I looked up doing the graphite edition as something special our early adapters could have as bragging rights, tapping that inner hipster we all have. We've discovered something off the beaten path that has potential for mainstream success. I mean, it's Dracula and Frankenstein as superheroes, and we're treating it like Roy Thomas Avengers run off with Wolfman Perez Titans. This is the chance to get into the ground floor. Just for the record, I personally think this is me, that I don't have a hipster inside me. I'm just saying. Are the stretch goals something that is important to your project, or is it a way to give back to the backers? I believe in stretch goals. At the time of writing these responses, we are quite a ways off, but we have so much cool stuff planned. The first one should be when we hit the 2,500 mark. Is a Who's Who style ash can that would go to all backers, filling in the gaps on the characters' backstories and recapping the handful of stories that we saw in print in the 1960s, featuring art by some of our friends. That's cool. If you saw this project and it wasn't yours, what do you think your reaction would be? He writes, I would be intrigued. As I said, these characters were practically written off as their first issues were hitting the newsstands. So the comics historian in me would want to see the creators think that they can make these heroes work for a 21st century audience. Plus, the pencils are dynamite. A great illustration of Adams, Bryan, and Alan Davis with a touch of Ringston thrown in. What is the inspiration for this project? I've always loved the classic monsters and blissfully unaware of these superhero versions until I was in college. And then the 50th anniversary of the Batman series, I was intrigued and did a lot of attempts by publishing to cash in on the craze. At some point, I discovered the characters have been orphaned, with none of the old publisher's successor claiming ownership, and the Section N content started as a writing sample that wouldn't leave my brain until it snowballed into a pitch and is finally a campaign. All right, so here's the pitch for it, guys. The lost on a secret mission and all forgotten, the Wild West heroes of the 1960s have come and return to action. Frankenstein, Dracula, Fleta, Werewolf, Nuclear, Polymer Polly. It's not a question of if they're ready for the 21st century. It's a question of if the 21st century is ready for them. Section M, the graphite edition, is a special preview of a new series collecting in full pencils of the first issue by Ron Joseph, who's from IDW, Revolution, ROM, Revolutionaries, and Micronauts, Wrath of Khazar. The story of Sean DeLuna, Arcanane's 51st Delta, and the upcoming Supersonic. Here's the link to the Kickstarter of that. Thanks for your chance to promote the campaign. I've included a couple pictures of sample art. So that's kind of badass. I didn't even know some of these people were in the actual history of the Bat. That dude does look kind of like Batman. I could see the cash in. And hey, Tommy Sharp is joining us in the chat room right now on Facebook. So this is Section M. It's definitely worth a look. I find that really interesting. I love the 7 questions. The 7 reasons to back, I should say. It really gives you insight that we normally wouldn't get from the Kickstarter itself. Because we go to the Kickstarter, and I got to be honest, I feel like I know it better now after the 7. Because you go to the Kickstarter, and we'll go back to it real quick, and you don't get the same feel for it. I really wish, and I had asked them to do a video, not asked them, but suggested them to do a video. Because I think this is an interesting project. I don't think the pencils are strong enough. I'm not a fan of pencils. Not to say that there's not a skill, not to say, hey, Brian is saying hi to us in the chat room. What's going on, Brian? I'm not saying at all disrespecting it. Just as a fan of art, pencils, and I've seen pencils with my own art. I feel like there's that anticipation of wanting to see how it's going to come out now. And you're all geared up and you want to see the finished product, not just how my mind switches in. So this was going to be a bit of a harder sell, I think, from the get-go. Obviously, it's not where they would want it to have been. They answered the 7 questions 2 weeks ago, and it really hasn't climbed. I like the story. I really do. I just wish there was a video. I'm definitely going to back it because I think it's interesting. I'm going to get a hard copy right there. And I'll come back to it at the end of the program because if I do it, the video goes off. But I'm definitely going to back it. So that's definitely something we're going to put at the edge of the program. Speaking of Kickstarters that we want to back, let's get to our list and talk about Penny for Your Soul. Now, we're going to head over here because it's got easy links to it. And we'll play the video and then we'll go to the Kickstarter. Does that sound like a good deal? Sound like a thing? So I'll go ahead and I'll click play here and we'll tee up the Kickstarter. Honestly, doesn't that give you like goosebumps? Don't you feel like you're watching a trailer for something gigantic coming? This is pretty big, though. $24,000. Nick Garber says he has a Kickstarter. Is it ending in the next couple days, Nick? If not, just send it to me in my messenger, and I'll get it on Kickstarter Talk on Wednesday. Anything ending in the next 3 to 5 days, we're featuring today. So if it's ending before Wednesday, please put the link in and we'll get it on the show. Otherwise, just send me an inbox message. That's Nick Garber in our Facebook chat room. All right, so 24,000, doing fantastic. We're in the final days right now. Actually, 28 hours to go. So yeah, it's about the final day. I'm hooked. You guys can see I've backed it. I'm gonna get it at the table when I see him again. I run into these guys as we go. Of course, some amazing creators behind it, some titillating art, and I use that word on purpose. The team behind it is amazing. You got Tom, you got JB, you got Whitney, you got Leela, you got Dan, and you got Ryan, and of course you got some art from CB Zane, of course, from Into the Suck, Jesse, and Bill. And I mean, it is amazing art. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic story. I'm in, man. This looks quality, man. This looks like something you would get off of a comic book rack at a comic book store. And that's always encouraging. Doesn't look like an unfinished project. It looks like something that's completely done and ready to go. And as someone who spent all day just working on my Kickstarter, my successful Kickstarter comic book mentor search, it's very important to really get it right. And this is definitely some beautiful stuff. As long as the lettering comes together and there's a good story, and I know there's going to be a good story because this is already volume 4, it's going to be a fantastic book. So you guys should jump on it, man. The art itself should sell itself. I honestly feel like I don't have to advocate much for this. And it's not just because it's quadrupled its goal, but because look at the beauty of this art. Just go to the link for yourself, spend a couple minutes on it, taking a look at the art. And of course, we're going to give you the pitch line before we leave this Kickstarter and move on today. The pitch line for this Kickstarter happens to be Penny for Your Soul, Pestilence, Chapter 3. Social media darlings, the Knights and Templar are in hell, and the Babylon's 7th angel host takes flight. Just an amazing project. Definitely check it out. Very, very excited to have it on the program. I'm actually going to miss watching that video. Moving on to our next amazing project, which is Frontera, which I have some amazing exclusive art to share with you guys in just a few minutes.
Welcome to the Flash of Dawn show. Today we are presenting the planet of Frontera,
known as the Pearl of the Universe.
On Frontera, there are 5 clans of alien species, each resembling different animals.
But this flourishing planet is being threatened by the Fearless.
They have destroyed many worlds, and word has it that Frontera is the next on their list.
But never fear. The unison of Allegiant Stars is sending its mighty Tagma to face this threat.
They will be escorting the Arcus Solidine on its maiden voyage to Frontera. Speaking of Frontera, we have the discoverer of Frontera, Best Frontera himself, to shed more light on what you can do to help this project.
Brochachas and Brosevskis, please provide a standing O to the king of catchphrase and the metal Meshuggah himself, Best Frontera.
Yo, Best of Franchise Frontera here. And I'm here to talk about that new ultra cool comic project by AJ Kincaid and Starcrossed Comics called Frontera, Flash of Dawn. Venado Computron will give you the hype.
Synopsis for Frontera, Flash of Dawn. Some thousand tomorrows have fallen, and we have risen to master the cosmic skyways and conquer the unknown. With our mighty Tagmatas, we maintain order and rule with an iron fist against all who would destroy our unison and the sanctity of the universe. Within the shades of the limitless void lies a silent nemesis set to devour the whole of the heavens, and a champion has awoken. Abbreviated synopsis: Kill Bill meets Fifth Element. A far-flung, roundhouse-kicking, blaster-blazing, fist-pumping, head-banging, space-bending fantasy set just west of forever.
You know it's mad ace, cause I'm in it and worthy of support. And we ain't talking about undergarments, Jabrevskis. And faster than you can say, bro, keep going. I'm at the crossroads where I, Best Frontera, the metal Meshuggah, tells you what's in it for you other than dropping a little Skrilla. First off, $5 snacks you a digital copy of Codex 1. The second tier is a 10 spot, and that one is the hard copy. The third tier is at 20 clams, and you get booster A on top of all your previous loot. The fourth tier is at 50 smackaroos, and you get booster B and Makota's patch. There are more tiers where that came from, depending on what you want to be able to give to this sci-fi spectacle. Tronny, time to shine.
Thank you, franchise. In conclusion, we thank you for receiving this audio-visual transmission. Please join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, so I've got some exclusive stuff for you guys, just for you and no one else. So here we go. I'm going to call it up here. So we got, that's not what I wanted. For some reason, it didn't do what I wanted. Here we go. So we have a bunch of art to share with you guys. We're going to go all the way to the top. And then we got a special thing just for the show in just a few minutes. But first, I wanted to make sure that we're looking at the art. So we're going to, let me see if I can, will it go down? No, okay. I have to manually type it. So here we go. I'm going to show you the art by art. And just look at the amazing line work of it. And these are all part of the project. This is stuff that's concept art. It's characters that you guys are going to see within it. I think it's amazing, honestly. The energy and the art. I mean, this was a packet given to us because we were doing the show. And they wanted to showcase to you guys exactly why you guys should be backing it. And I think that's awesome. The fact that they, you know, wanted to instantly invite you guys to be part of this is amazing to me. We're going to go on to the next picture. And I'm trying to give you guys time to look at everything, because some of these are definitely, I mean, the way that this has been put together, I have to admit, I'm kind of really a fan of the video that they've done with it, the art that they're supplying, the energy that goes into it. You know, and it sounds like an interesting concept to me. I got to be honest, I'm excited about it. I think they've done really good things, and I'm very proud of AJ Kincaid, who's the guy behind this and who's been giving me such amazing art to share with you guys today. I'm so excited to be able to sample this stuff with you. There's even going to be something in just a few minutes, which we're going to see together for the first time. I'm going to get you the next one. Look at the art. I mean, wow, right? You guys are seeing some pages from it right now. That's how great this is. And I tell you all the time, I bring you guys some of the best stuff, and I'm not kidding. I mean, how could you argue with my point that this is a beautiful Kickstarter? And if you didn't see it till yet, I understand it. Here it is. You guys are welcome. I mean, sometimes it's hard to see all the great content, and that's why we do the show. Carrie King said, please tell us more about how to get a Kickstarter review. Thanks. Ours should be late summer. Honestly, just reach out to us. Send us an email at indieadvocates@yahoo.com, and we get you on the show. As long as it's not somehow something that we find commercially like a total rip of something, like where we think there could be a copyright issue, and or it's not something that's inappropriate somehow, which we've passed on some very political stuff that we thought was just too far, and we try to stay away from some religious stuff if it's too tilted towards something, you know. But beyond that, it's pretty easy to get on the show, to be honest with you. We're pretty supportive of everyone. It's kind of our thing. So, I mean, just amazing art. And we could look at this all day. And I didn't post any of this art, and it's only going to be on video because I didn't want anyone taking it and using it somehow, because none of this has been, a lot of this is stuff that hasn't necessarily been released yet. This is exclusive stuff just for our show today. So with that in mind, we're not actually putting a lot of this on the site. So we only did this for the video today. I really, 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 really like the art in this. I think it's fantastic. I like the coloring. The coloring is very cool. And just check out how much art and how much development has gotten behind this amazing project. And this was one of the original press release points for it. And this is the press release cover for it. You got Quinn right there, and one last poster from FRONTERA. All right. So now we have something special. I promised it. Here it goes. So I haven't seen this until today. This is going to be the first time I'm seeing this with you guys, and we're gonna call it up, and we're gonna take a look. Now the rest of it I did get a chance to look at, but this is a first for you guys now. And here, let me see if I can download it to get a bigger picture for us all. There we go. Should be coming up. There it goes in the preview. Look at the stars in that. That's beautiful. I like the flames up here on the ship. The color of the blue, the way that it glows off the page is fantastic. I like the dancing of the color and the streaming, the intensity of the characters. The body language is very important. You can see in this moment. Very cool, man. Very cool. This has not been seen before. This is us showing you guys for the first time. Now, we're going to go into the actual Kickstarter, of course, because we've gotten to see such amazing art. Let's take a moment and go over to the Kickstarter and see FRONTERA Flash of Dawn. And you can hear Jax in the background being a kid. So 77 backers have definitely been doing amazing stuff helping this out. Still some things to go, but that's okay. It's not insurmountable. 44 hours to go is plenty of time. It's a fantastic book. Obviously, it's getting featured on Comics Central. Click here to read a preview, so you guys can actually get a preview. And we're going to click right there, and I'm going to give you a little look at some of the preview here. So look at that art. And we've seen this art. This was a press release art. And it looks like our character might be younger at this part. And she'll probably, oh, she's a little older now. I guess there's a bit of a time jump. Like, I'm not reading as we're going, so this could be a flashback. This could just be them as kids playing. Oh, 12 years earlier. Okay, so it's definitely cool. You guys got to check it out. This will sell you. I think realistically, if you read some of this story, you'll be sold on it. I know I'm sold on it. I have backed it, as you guys can see. I've gotten the physical copy. I want this. I want this art. I love the art in this. I'll probably talk about this tomorrow, too, and try to get, maybe show off some art tomorrow, too, if I get a chance. And run a video just for this, because I think the art is amazing in this project. I'm just a huge fan of the art. And I mean, just the way that it keeps going. I like the ships. I like the design of the ships. They're very sleek. They're almost like cars in space, and you don't see that a lot. So that's kind of amazing. But you guys know what to do, man. You back it. You put your money where your mouth is. But more importantly, talk about it on social media. Share it like I'm going to do right now. I'm going to share it on Facebook. I'm going to put out, why haven't you backed this yet? Do you not like comics? And I'm going to put them with Kincaid, who is the creative force behind this. And now I'm going to post it. And it's very important because remember, like I've been saying all year, I know that it's been hard to get your message out there. But if you're talking about something and not just, you know, just sharing it, but if you're talking about it, it gives a better chance to be the helpful person that you hope to be for the creators that you want to support. And finally, get them to be seen, because I know it's very important. And it's been harder this year. It's one of the things I've said has changed about the platform known as Kickstarter. I don't think it's dying. I think it's just, I think Facebook changed, and a lot of people underestimated what that change was going to cost. And I think we're just seeing the cost of the change, to be honest with you. We do have to move on to our next Kickstarter. But I might be back tomorrow talking about this. So drum up some attention. Let's see if we can get this funded. Let's see if we can make these one of those projects we can come from behind. Because FRONTERA certainly deserves some love and passion from our community of creators to get this funded. I know you're excited about it after watching the program, and I appreciate all the help in getting this funded. So here we are. Let's check out the Luminous Age.
Imagine you had the power to turn your wildest dreams into reality. What would you create? Hello, I'm Grant, an award-winning fantasy illustrator Anthony Christou, the creator of Luminous Ages. Luminous Ages is a fantasy series that I've been working on for the last 4 years, and the first graphic novel is coming to completion. The story is about the first planet in our universe, Equatoria, where dream magic manifests into reality really fast. There are 13 dream gods who created the universe, and the nightmare and tranquil dream mages are fighting to gain the allegiance of the most gods. What makes Luminous Ages special is that there are 3 types of dream mages with unique abilities. These are the Captivaries, Luminaries, and Chosen. The story starts with a young mage, Thrakos, who discovers his mother saved the planet Equatoria in the last Great War, but she has gone missing. He goes on a hero's journey to find his powers and to find his mother. It appears he is the main character, but as he ventures, we see the Luminous Ages story has many subplots and many amazing dragons and creatures who join the team. Luminous Ages is important to me because I wanted to make a fantasy series that has wizards of many cultures and backgrounds with female and male character leads. Luminous Ages also has environmental messages with nature mages and an alliance of wizards with a unique type of magic fighting to save their planet. This story expresses my passion for the genre of fantasy and mythology. I've created this series to give a new voice to fantasy, By representing different cultures, I have expressed environmental messages through this comic, as it is a topic dear to my heart, and my aim is to entertain and touch readers on a deep level with positive messages. This is my dream project, as it has allowed me to explore my imagination with no limits and bring a different voice to the genre of fantasy. You may ask, why now? The book has been written, most of the art is done, and I have also been accepted into an Australian government-funded program called Match Lab, where every dollar up to the value of $10,000 is matched. This means I can devote my time fully to finishing the last pages and the print production of this book to make it look gorgeous. I have amazing rewards, which include commissions, papercraft dragons, collector cards, gaming mats, and other cool stuff. Please check out more of the exclusive rewards below and help to make Luminous Ages a reality. Thank you for your support.
All right. How awesome is that? Look, let's take a look at it. I love the bunny. Let's take a look at it on the platform of Kickstarter. That is not the platform of Kickstarter. Oh, that's a great site. Indie Advocate. Sexy. All right, let's try that again. I think we have a bad link. It's never good when you have a bad link. All right, so we're going to have to dig in and see why that's a bad link. There we go. That's a good link, though. So probably just a transfer issue. But here we go. Okay, definitely has made its goal, which is awesome. That means he's going to be getting the money from the government, which will help him make this an even bigger project. Look at the art in this. This is amazing. I almost didn't back this. Luckily, I was talking to the creator because he's a friend of mine. And he was there like, hey, were you interested in backing the book? And I was like, what are you talking about? I backed it. And I went to look at it. And I was like, oh, my God, I didn't back it. It's because sometimes when I go on the shows, you know, like I line Kickstarters up to back them legitimately like I want to, because I love getting this. I love having the books. And this looks awesome. And then something goes wrong. And in this one, I'm getting the digital 140-page book. Looks fantastic. I've been following this project in earlier stages too. I've gotten to see it come up and go. I love the energy that goes into it. I like the art. It's reminiscent of actual aftermath from my book for Fetish Babies. Love the wolf right there. Absolutely in love with this. And by the way, the pitch for this Kickstarter, for those who didn't get it said to them, is Luminous Ages, Volume 1, Dragons, Monsters, and Surreal Fantasy. It's sublime painted. I know I'm saying that word wrong. Keep meaning to look it up. Superbly, I believe is how you pronounce it, painted epic adventure with wizards and creators from many myths and cultures fighting for nature, discover a new form of magic today. So, we're going to check this out. There was a live stream of watercoloring. Let's do it. Okay, I'm not sure if it's playing. I got it on replay. There we go.
G'day. Hi everyone. I'll be streaming now.
I'm going to try not to watch it all.
Don't know how I did that. I'm going to spread this out a bit. No questions. Everyone's silent tonight. They're just watching.
Guys a quick couple jumps.
They're all stalking me. Facebook stalking me.
And there we go. As it gets more and more beautiful, you can see it's hand painted. How badass is that? That's like, and they call us Monsters, which is completely watercolored. I remember Claudeo used to, the bad days would be where Claudeo would reach out to me and be like, I made a mistake. And he'd have to start completely over, and it sucked. Because there is no forgiveness in watercolors. So just an amazing, amazing talent. Look at how beautiful that is from where it started. So that's the energy that goes into a book like this.
Right, no worries, Kate. I'm going to go have a break, so I'll do it quick.
This is an amazing project. Obviously, a lot of passion. You have to be passionate to watercolor a book. So how amazing is that? We're going to leave the show today with another look at that amazing art. You can hear Jax in the background. going crazy. We're going to take another look at all that amazing art for FRONTERA. We're going to quickly go through it. I'm going to give you all these reasons to back this amazing project and all the amazing projects that we had on the program today. We had a really good day. We talked about Section M. We talked about the Luminous age. We talked about FRONTERA, which is an amazingly, I mean, look at the art of FRONTERA. And we also featured on the show today, Penny for Your Soul, which, I mean, today has been a wonderful day for our eyes on this show. I sound like Bob Ross there. I definitely watch a lot of Bob Ross. But seriously, like, there's some beautiful art in the show today. That's the great thing about indie comics is that the art, I think, is honestly better than you see in Marvel and DC half the time. I think Marvel and DC, they get creators who maybe can streamline and do it really fast. And that's not to knock anyone, because they're under timelines and deadlines and all these things they have to get done. So some of the artists do cut some corners. I think that there's such beauty in indie comics, though, that you don't necessarily always get to see in Marvel and DC. And sometimes you get to see those artists do an actual indie book, and they really cut loose and they do some amazing stuff. But this is where you can really get some amazing art and some amazing features is on Kickstarter and in indie comics. So if you have a Kickstarter that you want us to feature on the show, please take the time to send us an email at indieadvocates@yahoo.com. Time is running out for our list today, though, so I'm going to quickly get you guys, and you hear Jax running into the room, I'm going to quickly give you guys a list of the Kickstarters to back before they're gone. Which here they are as it loads. Oh, sorry about that. Any minute now. Technology is supposed to make our lives easier. I don't feel like my life's easier. You hear Jack's laughing in the background. He's watching the Paw Patrol. All right, so this week, it's issue 19 of this very show, Penny for Your FRONTERA in the Luminous Age, featured Section M. And definitely read the 7 reasons to back Section M. It will sell you on why to back the book. So, and remember to support indie comics using just $1 to show support, attract attention, help fund projects, support creators, and create new worlds. Please stop the reboot culture. Support indie comics today. Kickstarter for the Independent Creator is available from Amazon and is written by Metal and Holly Rising. Penny for Your Soul. Time is running out. We're almost within the last 24 hours. It's Pestilence, Chapter 3, Social Media Darlings. The Knights Templar are in hell, and the Babylon's 7th angel host takes flight. FRONTERA, Flash of Dawn, a fair-flung, roundhouse kicking, blaster blazing, fist pumping, head banging, space bending fantasy set just west of Forever. And Luminous Age, Volume 1, Dragons, Monsters, a surreal fantasy sublime painted epic adventure with wizards and creatures from many myths and cultures fighting for nature. Discover a new form of magic. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I am the advocating voice for indie comics, indie advocates, and indie comics too, when they let me. That's Jax in the background, being crazy 3-year-old. Love it. If you have anything you want us to cover in Indie Advocates so we can advocate for you, please send us an email at indieadvocates@gmail.com. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I'm signing off. But remember to support indie comics today on Kickstarter, even if it's just $1.